You're unmuted now. Hello and welcome to the 5th round of the Race Spec F1 Esports PS4 Formula 2 Pacific Series here in Le Castellet for the French Grand Prix here in Paul Ricard. My name is Exprit, and joining me in the commentary box for tonight's race is none other than CurvingTexas. How you going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. How about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. It's going to be an epic race here tonight, but let's have a quick look at your track stats, if you don't mind giving us a little insight to the in-depth parts of the circuit Paul Ricard here this afternoon, Curving.
No problem. So, the track length is 5.842 kilometres long. We've got 15 corners here, 6 left and 9 right, as well as 2 DRS zones down the front straight and the back straight. Definitely a track with a lot of overtaking opportunities. Pretty good to watch in terms of on the game. Not as much as, not so much in real life, but it should be a very interesting race here. We've got some people who have proven that they're going to be up the front most races, so it'll be interesting to see. It's another challenge, completely different track from what we saw last week at Monaco, so
yeah, so it's going to be
see what it takes.
Yeah, it will be an interesting one here this afternoon as well. So let's see how it goes. Obviously, the main overtaking points at this track is at the back straight, heading into the little chicane that the F1 drivers do take. But if you don't, and also heading potentially into turn 1, if you can get a good run, as they are the 2 main DRS zones on this circuit. So if you don't mind, real quick, Curving, do you mind reading out the championship standings or the driver standings here this afternoon for us?
No problem. So, coming into round 4, is it round 4 or round 5? Round 5. Todster 99 leads on 117 points, making up a lot of points last week. And the gap is now 31 points back to Jay Schmidt in second. And then third place, the Gaming Wafer on 76, Spilly in 4th on 71, Crossy in 5th on 69. Then we've got Pure Gold in 6th on 64, Plevs in 7th on 52, definitely made up a lot recently, so doing well. 8th spot is the ART driver of Iceman with 31. 9th place is Breno with 30, Dre in 10th with 22, Toes Rudy 11th, Kickbutt Kiwi 12th, Zach Crichton in 13th, BKXI in 14th, Big Donga in 15th, 16th is Romy Alonso, 17th is Roscoe Arm, 18th is The Rock, James Cruz in 19th, and False Equation in 20th.
And let's have a quick look now at your constructor standings. As you can see, Sauber Junior team currently lead the way at the moment at 155 points. That's Schmidt and Crossy, so they're doing a really good job at the moment at the top. Then it is the Virtuosi team of Toddy and Kickbutt Kiwi in P2. P3 is the ART team ahead of Dams, Pramer, Trident, Carlin, Campos in position 8. P9 is the Arden team, and then MP Motorsports in position 10. But we're going to swap this. Actually, no, we're not even ready yet. I thought we were ready to go, so I apologise for that. But we're trying to get the stream going a little bit early so we could read out the track stats and all the constructors and driver standings pre-race. But thank you guys for joining the stream as well. I'm not too sure if you realise we have a little new look as well to the starting scene, so let me know what your opinions are on that. Any improvements, recommendations, let me know. I'll be happy to read them out or take any advice in, but as you just said there, Curving, any pre-race predictions from anyone in the chat we will happily read them out on stream. If you are in the Race Spec server as well, feel free to join in the watch and chat voice channel as well. I'll be in there as well, and you may even be able to feature at the beginning of a race just to get your predictions. So we'll have to see. If you want to join that, feel free to do so, but waiting now just for the drivers to actually ready up. I thought we were going, so I tried to start it a little bit earlier. I do apologise for that, but well, let's quickly get your predictions though, Curving. Who do you reckon's going to win the or let's start off with qualifying. Who do you reckon's going to get pole here this afternoon?
Yeah, that's a bit of a tough one, hey. Looking at what we've seen on some of the longer tracks with, like, you know, faster straights and stuff, I think you can't count out Schmidt and you can't count out Wafer. Toddy has looked very strong all season, no matter where he's starting and stuff, so I'm sure he'll be up the front as well. But I think the two Promo boys are slowly coming into this one. We saw that they've moved up to 5th spot in the Constructors' Championship, so watch out for those guys as well, I reckon. So
I can also give you guys a little update on what penalties actually got handed out previously as well for the Monaco Grand Prix. So here we have it. The Stone Tower was given a 5-second penalty for causing a minor collision with BKXI. I'll try and find a couple more for you guys. I think that might actually be the only incident from the Monaco Grand Prix, but I can go up a little bit further as well, just as we didn't actually really read out the ones from Spain. So also from the Spanish Grand Prix, Jay Schmidt also received that 10-second penalty for taking out Plebs at the hairpin on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Some may remember that. And there was one more. Give me 1 second. I'll try and find it before we get into qualifying. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm going to find it. Anyway.
Yeah, Relix has said that Zach Crichton win is his prediction. I don't think Zach is here again.
No, he's not.
This week. They've got James still in that second driver spot there, so unfortunately that prediction's not going to go through. As much as we'd all like to see him out on track, Zach is rather busy.
Yeah.
Obviously with another race after this one as well. So, yeah.
It's a bit unfortunate not having Zach Crichton here, but we will continue on. As you can now see on your screens, the drivers are heading out now, or are just starting their qualifying lap here. It is a one-shot qualifying which will determine the grid for the first race, which is obviously the feature race. So let's see how everyone goes. Obviously, you said your prediction. I can't even remember who you said, sorry. Who did you...
Well, I said I think Schmidt would probably take pole, but I said Schmidt, then Wafer and Toddy. Yeah. Schmidt is currently leading from what we can see here.
So Wafer is normally really quick in his qualifying sessions as well, but he has been caught out a little bit of times as well with his race pace and just his actual racecraft in general.
Jesus,
so
he's just come up from like 15th to 3rd now.
Yeah. So I have to see if Wafer is able to do anything, but it actually looks like at the moment it is the two Sauber drivers that currently lead the way in position 1 and 2. I don't really want to try and swap in between everyone too quickly because it has that black screen.
We've said that a lot this season. Hey, those two Sauber drivers, definitely the most consistent pairing in terms of getting results out of their car, hence why they're so far ahead in that Constructors' Championship.
Now, obviously, this is another potential overtaking spot as well. If you can get a good exit out of that chicane, heading up into this flat-out right-hander in a modern-day F1 car, if you can get the run into there, you can run side-by-side, and then you have another right-hander here, which can help you if you get down the inside, which is pretty easy to push the driver out wide there, so you can get the move done pretty damn easily through there. Then heading through that really dipped right-hander, you can underestimate a lot. If you carry too much speed through there, you'll be pushed wide very easy, but if you carry not enough speed, then you will turn pretty quickly, and unfortunately you'll just cost yourself a lot of time hitting that curb. But now, as you can see, they're all heading into the final sector. Wafer's made a little error there, as we just saw, which could have potentially cost him. He's still going through. He runs a little bit wide at the final chicane, but it looks like Crossy may have this, to be honest. They come up to the line to finish their qualifying lap, and Wafer just gets it.
Jesus.
Just gets it. So 9.26 there for the gaming Wafer. Crossy comes home in position 2 with a 43.975. So that is really tight between them. Then Plebs actually managed to get up into P3 as well. So could this be the round that Plebs finally get some good luck here? So he will currently sit on the second row, and I believe that was the Jay Schmidt in position 4. We'll confirm that for you in a second, but as we just saw, Gaming Wafer going to pole position. He will start at the front of the grid for the feature race here in Le Castellet. So it was actually Toddster that came home P4 for the Virtuosi team. So they'll be looking to hunt down the Sauber team in front of them in the constructors' standings. Obviously, 4 points is actually rewarded to the team or the driver that actually gets pole position. So that's a little bit of points there in the bag for Wafer, and then Schmidt in position 5 for Sauber, Spilly in P6 for Trident. Then it's the 2 Dams drivers of Pure Gold and Breno doing a good job. BK in P9 for Campos, and rounding out your top 10 is Iceman. So we're going to let the drivers now head over to the grid for the feature race here in the Castle. Let me know some predictions in the live chat, and we'll try and read them out on the stream, but we'll be back with you shortly.
Alrighty, so the boys are now starting their formation lap here. One thing I want to point out is this is Bodhod's first race in the F2 series for the season, filling at the Arden team, even though he's reserved for the Prema Motorsports team. So yeah, obviously first drive in 17th. Another thing I did notice in that qualifying was that Roscoe Arm unfortunately did qualify on the hard tyres. So yeah, obviously he's forgotten that you can qualify on whatever tyres and then start on whatever you want, so
yep. Yeah, so unfortunately that has hurt Roscoe a little bit. He's down in position 16 at the moment for the MP Motorsports team. So he'll be wanting to take home some points here this afternoon. Obviously, I believe he missed Monaco in the round before that, so he's a little way down in the championships order. But let's see if he's able to turn that around here this afternoon. So just a quick reminder as well, Gaming Wafer did take pole position for the ART team. Ahead of Crossy in the Sauber, then it will be Plevs or Prema in position 3. Alongside him will be Toddster for the Virtuosi team. Then XHJ Schmidt in position 5, P6 Billy, P7 is Pure Gold, and then alongside him will be his teammate Breno for Dams, then BKXI for Campos, and rounding out your top 10 is the ART driver, is it? I believe. I think it is the ART driver of Iceman CS13. All these, actually the top 11 all opting to start on the hard compound tyre, so it will be a hard soft strategy, or for some a soft hard, so I'll have to see how they all go with the alternate strategy. But Stonetail in position 11, P12 is Kickbutt QE, 13th is Toez Rudy, P14 Dr. Dre 3000. Unfortunately, just wasn't, or didn't look like he had the paces like his teammate did in position 3, so he'll be looking to get a good start here. It is 15 laps as well, we need to remember that, so it is a relatively long race. Big Donga MP15, P16, VSR Roscoe Arm. Then it will be Bodhod in position 17 for the Arden team, P18 James Cruz, P19 to Lunacy, and rounding out your top 10 the top 20 rather, is Gold Gloves for the Trident team. So let's see how you go. Who do you reckon is going to win this Grand Prix, Curving?
I'd like to say Plebs. I want to see Plebs win a race.
I do too.
I think he's slowly building up here, so yeah. But look, anything to play for. Also Crossy, after what happened last week, I think he deserves a win as well, because he got some really bad luck in that second race. Also, Stone Tower, really nice qualifying session from him in 11th spot. The MP team haven't really had a good season so far. They picked up 1 point, I believe, but maybe points on the board again today.
Yeah, we'll hopefully see them get some points here this afternoon. Just waiting for the light sequence to begin now. On your screens, it's a little bit of a long hold. As you can see, it is now beginning for the drivers. 15 laps they will have ahead of them for the feature race. 5 red lights, and we are underway. It looks like Gaming Wave's got a very poor start there, and Plebs is going to draw alongside him. And it looks like he's actually going to take the lead off the start line there. So Plebs entered the lead of the Grand Prix. Wave has dropped all the way down to P6. But as you can see now, the Virtuosi driver, Todd's is trying to go around the outside of the Prema, heading into turn 1 and 2. Toddy pushes Plebs out wide there, but they're still going to go alongside each other, heading down on to the run of turn 3. Who's going to have the better run? It looks like Plebs might be able to hold on to this if he can keep his nose there. Toddy does cut across him, but it looks like Toddy is now going to move himself into the lead of the Grand Prix. So that second row had a really good start compared to the others. Crossy and Gaming Wafer went absolutely nowhere off that start. Schmidt's now up into position 3. Then it is the two drivers that started on the front row, Wafer and Crossy. Then it will be Spilly right behind them, but we'll stick with this front battle pack. As you can see, Plebs is right in the top of Toddy. Will he move down the inside? He is going to as they head into the chicane. It looks like Schmidt's going to try and follow him down the inside as well, but the Prema car trying to make a move for the lead of the Grand Prix. Toddy holds it there on the inside, which will be beneficial, but Plebs has kept his nose there, and it looks like he's got the traction as well. So will he be able to get a run? Will Schmidt make this 3 wide? It looks like Plebs into the lead of the Grand Prix, but obviously Toddy will have a tow. So Wafer is gone out of this Grand Prix, and Toddy's trying to make a move here on Plebs as they head through the flat out right-hander, but it looks like Plebs is going to hold on to this lead. What a start there from the second row, especially a Toddy and Plebs.
Yeah, really nice stuff there. Both the Virtuosi boys, Kickbutt Kiwi's up 6 spots from 12th. Dre has also followed through with Prema here, so both cars really nice off the start there, opening laps by those two teams. So they're up a lot of spots together. Obviously we did see Wafer take a spin there. I'm not too certain exactly if he had any contact, but I've got a feeling he might have coming out of that corner.
So unfortunately, that big talking point was there. The front row just went absolutely nowhere off the start. The second row with Toddy and Plebs both went. Oh, there's a massive crash to the red. That's Dr. Dre gone. And unfortunately, he's been spun round. He's going back again, but unfortunately for Dre, his bad luck run just continues. He's been spun round at the final corner. I believe he did get hit. I saw a driver run straight into him. So unfortunately for himself, he is now down at the rear of the grid. And unfortunately for himself as well, his teammates leading the race. So there's a Prema in the lead and in last position. So Plebs leads the way as they head onto lap 2 ahead of Toddy, Schmidt, Crossy, the two teammates in the Sauber car. Toddy runs a little bit wide there, so I think Schmidt might be trying to eye up a run here on Toddy. He also runs a little bit wide there, but will he get the run that he needs? It looks like it. DRS is obviously not enabled as of yet as they now head down the long straight. One of the best overtaking spots here on the track. Plebs has already got a pretty good lead at the moment, 0.6 of a second, so Toddy's not going to be getting a really good tow off that Prema car, but Schmidt's trying to hang on as well. He does have his teammate right behind him, so he could potentially see a couple of team orders coming in play here. Spilly in P5 as well, trying to stick his nose down the inside of Crossy as they headed into the chicane. Kickbutt Kiwi's right there as well for the Vitersi team. So both Vitersi drivers doing a really good job at the moment. I think Spilly's going to try and make a move here on Crossy. I think he's mainly trying to defend actually, as they're now going to go side by side. Is Kickbutt Kiwi and Spilly heading through the flat out right hander. I'm not too sure actually if that is flat out in an F2 car, but Kickbutt Kiwi down the inside heading into that left hander, and he's unfortunately got into a half spin. He managed to save it. He was really deep under brakes. It would have been a very nice move if he could pull it off, but unfortunately for himself, he was pushed off into a half spin. I'm starting to hear myself again, Curving, sorry. But we'll continue on.
Right now.
Yeah, that's better now. Cool. So yeah, Kickbutt Kiwi just tried to make a move there on Spilly, heading into the one of the first corners of the final sector. So unfortunately for himself, that's going to give him relatively hot tyres here. So we'll see how they go for the remainder of this race. But it's been a pretty eventful start of this race.
Yeah, obviously I at the time I didn't notice, but yeah, Kickbutt Kiwi is on those softs, so you expect him to move up very quickly here, considering there's like 2 tyre compounds in between the two sets. But doing a really nice job there. He's looking pretty feisty today.
So Crossy's dropped a lot of position. Sorry about that. Crossy's just dropped a position to not only his teammate. Actually, no, he did drop a position to his teammate. So I think he made an error through turn 1 there, did Crossy. I did see a little bit of smoke from locking up. So unfortunately now he's dropped back behind the Trident driver of Spilly. So that moves him up into position 4. Sorry, you can continue on. My bad.
Yeah, and I'm pretty certain the contact between Wafer, I think it was with BKXI by the looks of things, in that final sector. So unfortunately, another incident that BK has been caught up in. This time I believe it's probably his fault, but he is sitting in 11th here. Just got to keep it clean, keep everything going here, and he might be able to stick with the points.
You can see at the back here, that looks like Kickbutt Kiwi's now trying to make a move on Crossy down the inside. He tried to do it on him heading into the chicane, but Crossy just cut him off there. Didn't give him much room, so it was fair of Crossy. He wasn't really there. He just had an overlap there to Kickbutt Kiwi heading into the chicane, but Crossy had every right to turn in there, so he is now in position 5, but does obviously have the Vitersi driver behind him and Kickbutt Kiwi, and also Rosquam just picks himself gets himself a 3-second penalty. And also, while you were talking as well, who was it? I'm trying to think. Toes Rudy, sorry, yes, Toes Rudy also got a penalty. Now looks like Pure Gold's diving down the inside, a kick by Kiwi, heading into the penultimate corner. Can the Dams driver get the move done? He's going to have the outside line for here. Will he try and do the under and over? It looks like he's run really deep, so I think he may try and get it. No, he doesn't. He doesn't get the best traction of that corner, so he will need to hope that Breno catches up, actually, as Schmidt does go fastest for Sauber. So the front three are all converging on each other. I'll read out a couple of predictions that we can see in the chat. Banana K Pie reckons Toddy, P1, P2 will be Crossy, and then position 3 will be Schmidt. So I have to see how that goes.
He's decided to change his after what happened on the first lap. He did have Wafer as P2, I believe. Yep. But we'll allow it, Banana. We'll allow it. We're nice guys. Yep. And another one from ACW, he thinks that Todster is going to get P1, Plebs P2, and Spilly in P3.
So Toddy will be looking to actually get a good result here this afternoon. He'll be wanting to extend his championship lead, but then also Plebs will be wanting to take home maximum points here this afternoon. I think Toddy's going to try and go for a move here. Around the outside, he's going to go. Will he be able to hold it there? He is going to have the car in front. He swoops around the outside into the lead of the Grand Prix. Nice move there from Toddy. And now Plebs will obviously have that slipstream back on the Viterci driver.
In the background.
Who's that gone to Schmidt? It is Schmidt gone to Schmidt. Actually, he hasn't gone round. He's continuing on, I think. Actually, no, he has gone round. Sorry about that. So, unfortunately for Schmidt, I'm not too sure what's happened there to himself, but he's now dropped all the way down the back of the grid. He's going to drop a spot here to BK, potentially even Roscoe. I think he's actually a little bit too far back. So, he's now dropped out of the points now, has Schmidt. So, that's unfortunate for himself. He looked like he could potentially fight for the win here this afternoon, but unfortunately for him now, that looks like all hopes have gone for himself. So, he needs to try and work himself back into position 8 or better so that he can have a good starting position for the next race or the sprint race. So we might potentially see a couple drivers pitting in very soon that started on the soft compound tyres, but the hard tyres I reckon will last around till lap 9ish, I reckon. So we'll have to see how that goes. Toddy had a lot of oversteer heading out of that final corner, and that's a Viterci driver back there, kicked by Kiwi, who ran really wide on the exit of the final corner. He's going to have Pure Gold. Actually, is that Pure Gold? It is Pure Gold going around his outside as they run up into turn 1. Who's going to be deeper under brakes? The Viterci driver has the inside line. He's going to hold it. He pushes Pure Gold out wide. I'm hearing myself again curving, but we'll continue on. Big Dong is also trying to catch up here to Breno. Stone Tower's there as well. He's running a pretty lonely race in P9. BK's dropped down to P10. Obviously, after that little incident, he's down a spot. And Schmidt, I'm not too sure if he does have any damage to that car. He actually does have damage. So, unfortunately, to his right end plate, he is missing it. So, that's really going to aerodynamically affect his handling of the car. So, he's going to really struggle here to get a good position in this race and potentially for the rest of the weekend, because he will be starting from P11 at this stage for the sprint race. So, unfortunately for Schmidt, it's kind of gone downhill in the space of 2 laps, and his whole weekend is pretty much done nearly.
Yeah, and the worst thing for him is because he has started on those hard compound tyres, he's not going to want to pit and change that wing. He's going to want to carry on, so it's really going to hurt him until he has to pit, because he's got no option here. He can't go onto the softs or the other compound until a few more laps at least, because they'll just be destroyed.
As you can see, Plevs thought about making a move there on Todster heading into that double right-hander, but he managed, well, he just thought about it a little bit and he stayed behind Toddy. As you just saw, there was Tokyo drifting out of that corner. So he said it's very easy to do. When you get up into 3rd and 4th gear in these cars, normally in an F1 car you have full traction, then you won't be getting any wheel spin if you're on a straight like there, but in an F2 car, just with that minimal grip, as you can see, Plevs made a little mistake there, locked up the inside front, which we have seen him do a couple of times in this race, and Toddy locks up the inside front heading into the final corner. So we'll have to see if these guys need to manage their tyres a little bit. Toddy's been wheel spinning everywhere, so his rears could be going pretty quickly in this race, so that's what Plebs needs to try and manage.
I was just about to say, Spilly's looking quick, he's closing them in, he's just set the fastest lap there, a fair bit quicker than everyone else apart from Toddy on that lap, so it'll be interesting to see if he can close this down, make it a 3-way fight for the win here. And
Crossy now has got himself a 3-second penalty, but he actually has kicked by Kiwi down his inside. As you can see, we got a nice view here from the chopper. It looks like Crossy's going to have the inside line, but it will then back swap to kick by Kiwi, and he's going to try and hold it there around the outside. Kick by Kiwi doesn't leave him much room, and that lets Pure Gold slot down the inside of Crossy. Crossy's just going backwards. So is his teammate Schmidt. So they have not had a really good start at all, has the ART team. So as you can see, Crossy runs really wide again, so he's going to give him another warning most likely. But will we see a move here from Pure Gold? I think we will. He's going to be in the slipstream. No, I think DRS available. Yes, he does. So he's going to go the inside line now, heading into the chicane. Who holds it around the outside? It is kicked by Kiwi. Does he hold the position? He does. So the Virtuosi driver now holds up into position 4. So both those cars at the moment are in the top 4. The Kickback Kiwi in P4 and P1 is Toddy. So they're doing a really good job at the moment. This will be good for their constructors' standings. Obviously trying to catch that Sauber team in front of them. So we'll see how that goes. Another move at the back here, I believe, between Gold Gloves and Bodhod. Gold Gloves now got himself up into position 14. The Arden driver now trying to get that move back, I believe. He's going to be in the slipstream here of Gold Gloves. Will he slide down the inside? He does actually go to the inside line, but will he be able to hold on to it? He's got the inside line again for this next right-hander. He can push him out wide here if he wants to, but it looks like Gold Gloves just backs out of it, and he's going to try and get a potential better run here on Bodhod. This is another overtaking opportunity on the last lap. You can go down the inside pretty easily there as you do run wide for the first part and then bring it back tight for the second. And Bodhod ran a little bit wide, but so did Gold Glove, so it didn't really advantage him there. But Toddy did just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so Plebs is just within DRS range at the moment of Toddy, and Spilly at the moment is 1.8 seconds back. So unfortunately for himself, I think these two in front are just going to keep pulling away, and we will have to see if Plebs actually has just been smart. He might just try and sit behind Toddy and not battle too much, because obviously these two battling will allow Spilly to catch up. So he might be smart here and just wait till the pit stops are finished and then come back into the pit lane. But let's quickly swap this over to your tyres as well so we can see what tyres everyone's running. As you can see there, Kickback Kiwi in P5 at the moment, Dr. Dre in P13, and down at the rear of the grid, Gaming Wafer is on the soft compound tyre now. So unfortunately for Gaming Wave, he's just had a really bad start to this weekend, and I think his weekend's pretty much done unless he has a really good sprint race. But it looks like now Pure Gold and Kickback Kiwi going to go side by side yet again, heading into the chicane of turn 8, and Pure Gold holds onto that position. That is the battle for position 4 in the feature race here of the Race Spec F1 Esports PS4 F2 Pacific Series. And you see Pure Gold got a massive tank slapper there, heading on the exit of turn 9. The thing that's going to hurt him here, they're nearly going to get 3 wide. Crossy trying to stick his nose down there, but Kickback Kiwi does back out of it. So this is a really tight battle here. Obviously, this is going to allow Breno to start to catch up, maybe even Big Donger by the end of this race. And look at that, down the inside goes Crossy on Kickback Kiwi, and he gets the move done. Nice move there from the ART driver. So now up into position 5 on lap 7 of this race.
Yeah, obviously Kickback Kiwi, I expected the softs to probably drop off around this lap, but he's still keeping it fairly competitive with those two on the hard tyres. He's just come into the pits now, so probably good timing for him before he started losing out too much ground. He'll hopefully fall back into a spot where he's got some clean air and he can try and undercut these boys.
So as we just saw there, Plebs did set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so he'll be trying to potentially get a nice run there on Todd. So they did just trade the fastest lap as well, so we'll have to see what the go is with that. Let's see if he can make a move potentially. I think that's what he'll be trying to do, try and set up a run here on Todsa heading down the back straight, because I think they will be pitting this lap most likely, or the next lap. We'll have to see. But those soft tyres obviously will be a massive advantage. So if Toddy does stay out this lap, we could potentially see Plebs try and do an undercut. He will have DRS here and slipstream on Toddy, so we could potentially see a move here. I don't think he's going to be close enough, unfortunately. He could send it though. Toddy defends the inside line. Plebs is going to get to the inside line. No, not inside, outside line here for turn 8. Plebs trying to hang it around the outside. Will he be able to hold it? It looks like he does. So now up into the lead of the Grand Prix, but will Toddy get the better run? It looks like he has. So Plebs is now pulled off to the right there. He's trying to defend his position very early. Gaming Wafer goes fastest. Gold Gloves picks up a 3-second penalty, but now Toddy to the outside line as they head through this fast right-hander of turn 10 or 11. I think it's turn 10. But now it looks like Plebs holds onto it, so he wants that priority at the beginning of the pit stops. So he will now go up into the lead of the Grand Prix, and I think he will be pitting this lap most likely. So Plebs back up into the lead for Prema. Toddy has now been pushed back down to position 2 for Virtuosi.
Yeah, very. If Plebs is coming in this lap, it's a very smart move to have moved ahead. He's just locked up. They both stayed out here though. But yeah, obviously being in second spot, Toddy can make that. Oh, he got really close there into the last corner. But yeah, he can make the decision if Plebs doesn't pit, or whoever the leader is doesn't pit. The one in second place has always got that undercut on, and usually that undercut.
So Toddy's going to go down the inside now, heading into the first corner. I didn't expect him to try and make a move here, but Plebs is trying to hold it, so these two do avoid contact, and now Toddy moves back up into the lead. If you don't mind, Curving, do you just want to quickly inform us of what the go is with warnings, because I just saw there Plebs definitely went 4 wheels off the track, so I think they may have given him a warning heading through turn 2. So if you got a little update there for us, that would be good.
Yeah, so Toddy's picked up 2 on the last lap that we completed there, so he is only on 2. Plebs has got 1, but I don't think he just got 1 then. I'm pretty certain it's only 1 from a couple of laps ago. And then Spilly behind also has 2.
So Plebs had a very poor run there heading into Sector 2, so unfortunately he's not going to be able to make a move here heading into this chicane. So we could potentially see an undercut being played here from Plebs. I don't think he'll be worried too much about where he is at this stage, as pit stops will be coming out very shortly. He will have the slipstream and whatnot available to him, and obviously Toddy is chewing up his tyres a lot as well. So quick reminder of your order. As you can see, Todd still leads the way at the moment for Virtuosi. That it is the Prima driver of Plebs in position 2. P3 will be Spilly ahead of Pure Gold Crossy in position 5. P6 will be Breno, Pure Gold's teammate. P7 will be Big Donga, Stonetail in P8. P9 is the Campos driver of BKXI, and rounding out your top 10, who we haven't actually really talked about as of yet, is VSR Roscom. He's had a really good start to this race from where he started. He started P16 in this Grand Prix, so he's done a pretty good job to get himself up to where he is at the moment. Jay Schmidt in P11, P12 Bod Hod, Toes Rudy in P13, Kickbutt Kiwi in position 14, P15 Dr. Dre, Gold Gloves, Wafer to Lunacy, Iceman, and
there
James Cruz down in P20. So as you see,
has come into the pits here.
He has here, so he's now coming to the pits, but so is Spilly as well. So he's going to try and potentially do the undercut here on Toddstead to get him tight, and Crossy follows him in. So Toddy does stay out, so that's very interesting there from Toddy. We'll have to see what happens to him, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold on to this because they were super close, and obviously just with that extra run heading onto that main straight, because you do accelerate pretty much halfway down the straight when you come on the exit of the pit lane, and then you've obviously got half of the other straight you can accelerate from if you're on an actual lap. So I think Toddy's going to lose the lead of this race here, but obviously that 1 lap fresher tyres could come down to it. But Toddy has been using his tyres pretty roughly as well, locking up inside fronts a lot and also spinning up rears. So we have to see if he can manage his tyres. He might actually have had to stay out an extra lap just so he could manage his tyres to the end, but we'll have to see. They are currently on lap 10 of 15, so they will be doing roughly 5 laps on those fresh soft compound of tyres. And Plebs has come out in a pretty nice gap as well, so he doesn't have too much traffic in front of him as well on his out lap.
Yeah, Spilly has pulled it in a little bit there on Plebs though, but the main thing here that I can see happening, I think Plebs will get the undercut, mainly because these fresh softs on this first out lap are going to be insanely quick compared to those hards. Already, you can see the pace between the softs and the hards. They're already faster, but considering how old those hards are, it'll be a lot to hang on here from Toddy, although he is probably going to be pushing this lap very hard to try and stay ahead.
He is currently leading the way at the moment. 5.4 seconds to the damage driver of Pure Gold, then 5.0 seconds behind Pure Gold is his teammate Breno. So they all opted to stay out. So the top 7 all opted to stay out of Rosquam, BK Tao, Donga, Breno, Pure Gold, and Toddy. So as you can see now, Toddy is responding, so he does come into the pit lane. So let's go back on board with Plebs down in position 8 at this stage. So let's see where he comes at. You can see he's heading through the final sector at the moment. It is obviously a longer stop than a Formula 1 pit stop as well, as there's only 1 tyre man on each tyre, so that is a little bit longer for them. Plebs made an error there, so that might have cost him ever so slightly. He's done that a couple of times in this race, but he's pushing really hard. As you can see, he's locking up tyres everywhere, so he's now coming onto the main straight. Whereabouts is Toddster?
I think he's going to get it.
Yeah, it's going to be tight.
I think Spilly might actually jump Toddster here as well.
Yeah, Plebs does get himself, but will Spilly be able to jump Toddy here? No, he doesn't. So Plebs now into the lead of the Grand Prix, but obviously I think he was expecting to be a little bit further ahead than what he was, but he made a couple of mistakes at the towards the end of that lap, so I think that's what cost him that little bit of time. But roughly, I believe he should have had about a second gap, to be honest, if he came out and did a pretty nice out lap there. But Toddy will obviously have 1 lap fresher tyres, but is that anything or not? We will find out very shortly, or in 4 laps time actually. So we'll have to see. Breno leads away at the moment ahead of Big Donga and Roscoe Arm in front, who have all not made a pit stop as of yet. So that's pretty interesting. I would have thought they all would have come into the pit lane already, unless they are any of these guys are soft tyre runners?
Nah, they're all on the hard tyres from the start.
Okay. Oh yeah, they are too. It says it on my screen right there. So anyway, they continue on. Plebs leads away at the moment. He managed to hold off Toddy there heading into the chicane. So there's currently a 4/10 gap at the moment. It looks like Pure Gold and Crossy have swapped spots as well. Pure Gold now up into position 7. So this is the battle for position 4 theoretically. Kickbutt Kiwi MP9 and Bodhod MP10 at the moment. So Bodhod's
big lock up there from Plebs.
Yeah, so his Plebs made an error there. I think he must have. So just locked up the inside front there, did he?
Yeah, ran a little bit wide in the corner. Didn't lose overly too much, but pushing those tyres, especially when Toddy's got that extra lap, that'll come into play at the end, I reckon.
Yeah, so obviously Plebs has been pushing a lot, but so has Toddy as well. He's been locking up his tyres and wheel spinning a fair bit as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're pretty even on tyre wear, to be honest. Is now Donga is coming into the pit lane and Roscoe's staying out. So not too sure what his plan is here, but he's...
Might be trying to go for that fast lap, like right near the end. Yeah, I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see what he does here. Obviously, he's trying to get some clear track. Obviously, he's away from everyone now, so it's down to him and him only at this point.
Yeah, so Spilly actually just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix there. So the Trident drivers actually catching up to these two. So Plebs having to defend the inside line there a little bit as well to hold off Toddster. But this is the battle for the provisional lead of the Grand Prix. As you can see, it is between Plebs, Toddster, and Spilly is starting to catch up now. Unfortunately, he does not have DRS this time around, does Spilly, but he was just outside of a second. I think Toddy's going to try and make a move here. Plebs defends the inside line, but he lets Toddy go for it. He will have the inside line, obviously, for turn 9. Toddy down the inside for turn 8, and he's going to get the move done. He pushes Plebs out wide there. So Plebs actually lost a lot of time there. You just see there's about 7, 8 tenths now nearly.
Yeah, definitely.
So Toddy just pushed him out a little bit wide there heading through turn 8, and I don't think the Prema driver was expecting it, so he's got to push pretty hard now to try and catch back up to the Virtuosi driver. He can't let that gap get too big, obviously, because DRS only does ever so much for you. So he needs to try and catch back up so he can get a nice tow heading down the straights.
Yeah, another thing I want to point out here, ACW's prediction is pretty much spot on at the moment with their positions. Once Roscoe ends up pitting here, which you'd expect this lap, Toddy will be first, Plebs second, and Spilly in third. So we'd just like to know if you can tell us anything else that is from the future and anything else that's going to happen this year, ACW, since you're clearly a time traveller. Yeah, would you like to let us know? Okay, Roscoe has stayed out again.
Alright, so that is interesting. I'm just checking that he's not an AI. He's not an AI. He's definitely not an AI.
No,
so.
He's not. He's just that MP Motorsport.
Yeah, he's in Magrunathon's car.
Is it the 17? Oh,
yeah,
it is as well.
Can I just a quick question? Does it look like it's raining on track?
Actually,
like
I can see that as well. You're right. Like it's starting to rain here.
So this
Roscoe might have just pulled off an absolute madness here.
Yeah, but he's still got a pit though for two different car compounds though.
Nah, but I don't think it. If he goes onto the intermediates, I don't think it will matter.
Yeah, but
plus it's also technically a thing.
Yeah, it is definitely raining now. So as you can see on our screens, there is a lot of droplets coming out now at the circuit Paul Ricard. So it is now officially raining at the track. So unfortunately now for Plebs, he's actually out of DRS range. So unfortunately for Plebs now, this is not good for himself. He is now out of DRS and he's going to start to fall into the hands of Spilly. But Toddy does have DRS on Roscoe Arm. But yeah, I'm not too sure what actually happens here, because I thought that you still have to use 2 tyre compounds. But this could be a really big risk for a really good reward here for Roscoe Arm. You never know, but he's obviously going to have super worn tyres, as you can just see there. This is actually going to help Plebs, to be honest, because Roscoe Arm's actually holding up Toddy, and he's made a massive error there, and I think he's now just got out of the way of the Virtuosi cars.
I'd be jumping onto those inters. I know it's not going to really work now, but he's going to have to double check here. If it does start to get a bit heavier, it'll be interesting. I've seen some races here in the last few laps where it started bucketing down and those inters have closed up. So what he's looking at the moment is he will jump into 12th spot if he pits, the way things are going. Bodhod still has to pit as well. Both drivers have been on those hard since the start. But yeah, no, you just don't know. Sometimes we see these rules and they come into play and we're like, well,
that's the problem. Half the rules are in the game and then half aren't, and yeah, it's just hard to keep track of what is and what isn't. So we'll have to see. This could be absolutely perfect here for Roscoe. You never know. He's got 3 seconds at the moment between himself and Pure Gold. So personally, I thought that you had to make 2 tyre compound stops, but obviously we have seen a couple of issues with that. This is this is a feature race, so he does have to make a pit stop. It is mandatory to make a pit stop. So unfortunately for Roscoe, he will have to pit this lap. So we'll have to see what happens.
He will know, obviously. He'll get told whether he has to pit or not. And at this point, does he take the risk and try and pit onto the intermediates? Because are they going to be faster than pitting onto a slick tyre at this point in the race? Or
I think softs would be the faster one, to be honest, at this stage. I don't think it's going to get that heavy at a wet. You can see the softs are running pretty fine at the moment. The inters will just be all over the shop, so I reckon softs would be the smart, well, the tyre you'd go onto anyway. So it's one lap anyway, so it's not.
That's it. It's not like he's going to gain a lot of time, but
yeah, we'll see if Roscoe does pit here. He's coming through the final sector now, so will Ragunathan pit this lap? Looks like he's going to continue on. Actually, no, he does pit. He does come into the pit, he's locked up massively. Does he speed? He just slows it down there to Roscoe. So yeah, so Roscoe does pit, and you reckon he's going to come out around that P10, P11 mark?
Yeah, I think he'll come out in P12, maybe fight like right on Jay Schmidt here. Bodhod's going to have to pit as well. I'll keep an eye on him though. I'll keep an eye on Roscoe and see what he goes on to. He's come into the pit and the team weren't out for him on my screen, but he's going on to the wets.
Wets? Oh no, because there's only one wet Tom Pan tyre.
Yeah, they don't have inters, but it'll be interesting to see. I mean,
no, it's definitely not wet enough. 100% not wet enough.
He's come out in 11th here. He's got Schmidt behind him on track. He's got to make up 5 and a bit seconds. If these wets are, which they don't look like it, I see a lot of grip from Schmidt behind, and some bloody loose back end stuff from Mr. Ragunathan. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah. Worth a shot though. There's not much he was going to gain out of that apart from a higher starting position, but yeah, so back at the front, Toddy's got this one covered, but there's a fight for second here. Big fight for second.
Looks like Spilly's going to try and do it around the outside, but he's not going to be able to. I think I know where Spilly's going to try and make a move. I'll keep it to myself because I think I know where he's going to try and make a move.
Second last corner, you feel him?
I'll keep it to myself. Oh, let's see here. So Pleb's getting a lot of oversteer. Oh, okay, so he's not. Oh, Plebs, he's going to try and make the move at where I thought he was going to try and do it, but he didn't. So let's see here. Plebs has a pretty nice run there out of that corner. I think the smart thing for Spilly here is just to try and stay P3 because obviously he will start ahead of both these drivers. Nearly runs into Plebs.
He got very close.
Got really, really close to turning Plebs there, but obviously now Toddstar will come across the line for the feature race of the race Spec F1 Esports PS4 F2 Series feature race, and he will win the race here for the opening race here of the French Grand Prix. I've just said race 15 times in about 10 seconds. Spilly will come home. So Plebs will be in P2. P3 will be Spilly, but I think that was smart there from Spilly to stay where he was because obviously he will now start ahead of both of these drivers in front of him. So Pure Gold will be P4, P5 Crossy F1, P6 Breno, P7 Big Donga, P8 Kickbuck Kiwi, who will actually start at the front of the grid for the next race. So he'll be starting alongside Big Donga, and Big Donga has done that a couple of times this season, so let's see if he's able to finally get a good result. BK in P9, who just missed out unfortunately, and then the Stone Towel in position 10. P11 Jay Schmidt, P12 VSR Roscoe on the wet. So I think right at the end they were probably good for wets, but yeah, definitely should have gone on softs in my opinion. P14 P13 was gaming away for P14, Towish Rudy. P15, Iceman. 16th, Dr. Dre to Lunacy. Down in position 17th, then it is his teammate, Bodhod, who actually dumps Dr. Dre now does to Lunacy. So up in P16 goes the Arden driver. So Dr. Dre, P17, P18, Bodhod, P19, Gold Gloves, and rounding out your top 20 is James Cruz, as Dr. Dre dropped behind Bodhod as well. So unfortunately for the Prema driver of Dr. Dre, he finished second last there. So third last, and his teammates second last. So yeah. second. So yeah, congratulations to our podium getters here of the feature race. But we're going to let the drivers now head over to the grid for the sprint race here. It will be, I believe, 11 laps. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back with you shortly. And yeah, we'll be right back. Alright, so as you can see, the drivers are now heading out for their formation lap. As I said, 11 laps they will have here to battle it out for the sprint race. No necessary or no mandatory pit stop they need to make, so you will only be pitting if you've got nothing to win or lose, or if you do have wing damage to your car. So we'll have to see how it goes. Let me know some predictions in the live chat. As you can see there, I think your name is Reese. I'm not too sure. I guess my Zach Crichton quarter win won't happen. Yeah, that's unfortunate there. Relics. It's a little hard to see on my screen. It's very small, but 11 laps they will have here to battle it out for the sprint race. So I believe they will all be on the hard tyre compound as well. I'll bring up some telemetry for you guys. As you can see, Kickbutt Kiwi will start from the pole position here this afternoon. Big Donga will be alongside him in position 2 for Campos, who he will be looking to get some good points here this afternoon. Hasn't had the best of starts to this championship so far. Breno in P3 for Dams ahead of Crossy in P4, who did start from pole position. Did start from pole position for the free feature race, but unfortunately himself and Gaming Wafer down in position 13 just had the worst start possible, and they dropped a lot of positions there in that race. So he will start P4, P5 Pure Gold, P6 Billy, who finished P3 in that race, P7 will be Plebs, and the winner of the feature race will start from P8, and that is Todd. So then it'll be BK P9 and then Stoned Towel in position 10. P11 XXJ Schmidt, P12 VSR Oscar, I'm Gaming Wafer, P13, P14 Toez Rudy, P15 Iceman CS13. Then it is the two Arden drivers of Lunacy and Bodhod. Dr. Dre in position 18, P19 Gold Gloves, and Rennie at your top 20 is Jimmy James Cruz. So let's see what happens here. As you can see, Kickbutt. What happened to Kickbutt?
He just spun on his own.
Oh,
he's just running through the fake down.
That was close to Breno.
Did they make contact there? I don't think they did, But yeah, unfortunately, Kickbutt warming up his tyres a lot there, and he's made a spin. It wouldn't be a race weekend if Kickbutt didn't do something that was caught on my bloody screen. Like, every week, without fail, he does something that's just ridiculous. But yeah, so, prediction for this, I actually think Kickbutt's got a very good chance. He had a good first race there. Obviously, he picked up a penalty. He did finish 6th from way back, and is starting on pole. And Big Donga also made up like 8 spots from that last race. So be interesting to see here.
Yeah, will be interesting. I'll read out some predictions in the live chat after this. But yeah, as you said, I reckon actually Breno's got a pretty good chance here this afternoon to potentially win this race. But we'll have to see. Waiting for the light sequence to begin now for the sprint race here of the Race Spec F1 Esports PS4 Formula 2 Pacific Series. 5 red lights for the drivers. And we are underway. Really quick start there. Looks like Kickback Kiwi gets a good start there off the line. Big Donga got really poor wheel spin. It looks like nearly a spin there into the pit wall there for the Sauber driver. But Kickback Kiwi has a 5/10 lead heading into the first turn. Look at that. Both Dams drivers going down the inside of Big Donga. They're both now up onto the podium after one corner. So now both of them are going to go side by side heading down into turn 3. I think there's a little bit of carnage at the back, but it looks like Pure Gold now up into position 2. Breno in P3 at the moment. He has Big Donga right behind him. He's now getting sent by Spilly. Down the inside goes the Triton driver, and Toddy's now hit him. So Toddy, I think, just had a bit of damage there to his car, but we'll continue on. Player's trying to make a move as well, heading himself up into position 7. So Toddy's had a really good start here. He's got himself up ahead of Plebs, which I think he really needed to do. I think Toddy's now going to try and make a move here on Spilly. Will he go down the inside? He's thinking about it, but he's going to sit here. I think he's just going to sit in the slipstream. No, he's going to go to his outside line now. Toddster heading into his hood, and they make contact now. Spilly sent into a half spin, I think, now. I'm not too sure. It was kind of glitchy on my screen, but look now. Jay Schmidt trying to go down the inside of Plebs. This has really hurt his run as they head down this second main straight here. Another really good passing opportunity for Schmidt, but unfortunately wasn't able to get the move done. He's going to have to hold back in position 8. We need to remember as well, only the top 8 get points here in the sprint race as well. It looks like Schmidt's trying to stick his nose down the inside of Plebs, heading into this right-hander. Plebs doesn't leave him much room, and he is allowed to pretty much, as he didn't really have the best of overlaps, but looks like it's a very eventful start here. Kickback Kiwi, 8-10 lead already. He had a 5-10, 6-10 lead heading into turn 1, so he got a rapid start compared to everyone else. So Pure Gold in P2, P3 is his teammate of Breno. So both Dams drivers are doing a really good job. And let's have a quick look now at Banana Cake Pie's prediction. He reckons that Pure will win the race, P2 will be Toddy, and then P3 will be Breno. So both of the Dams drivers are doing a really good job at the moment. Big Donga trying to go around the outside of Breno. Does he get the move done? No, he doesn't, so he's going to have to sit back behind that Dams driver for a little bit longer. He obviously does have Spilly now catching up, so Spilly could be on for a potential podium here if he can get himself through these drivers faster than the others. When I say others, I mean Toddy and Plebs, so let's see what happens here. Does Spilly send it down the inside on Donga? No, he doesn't. He's going to wait a little bit longer. He'll try and wait for the back straight, and I think Toddy actually has given him a little tap. They're heading to that right hand, and Toddy tried to send it on the Trident driver. Now Plebs is going to try and get a nice run here, but he hasn't had the best of runs. Toddy has had the best of runs, but look up here. Big Donga and Breno are now going side by side as they head down the back straight, heading into the chicane of turn 8. Who's going to be on the outside line? It looks like Toddy's also trying to make a move. He's going to be on the inside line now as Big Donga. They're still side by side. Is the Campos and driver and the Campos and the Dams driver. Dams, that's right. And now it looks like Spilly's trying to get a move.
Nice run.
Spilly's got a really nice run here on Breno, but Donga now up into position 3. Spilly's going to get the move done, and Toddy back down the inside nearly hits Breno there. So Will Crossy follow him through. Crossy's gone. Crossy's off into... Crossy just had a massive half spin. I think he made contact with Plebs because Plebs has dropped a lot of spots here. And look now, that's Iceman making a move on Plebs as well. And Crossy in one corner. Nice move there from the ART. But I'm not too sure what happened now. I'm not too sure if you caught that on your view. But Plebs is now trying to make a move here on Iceman. As you can see, he's going to go to the inside line for the penultimate corner. Is he alongside enough? He is. And Iceman now pushed out wide. And look at this, Crossy's trying to follow Plebs through. And it looks like Plebs now got himself back up into P10. Sorry.
I didn't really catch it, but I think it's just a case of 2 into 1, especially in that corner. It's always tough. I don't know if there was 2 or 3 at that point that were all trying to go into it, but these front 2, Kickbutt Kiwi and Pure Gold, keeping their noses out of everything. They've got half a second between them, but the gap behind them is up to 2.3 seconds, and they're pulling away. So Big Donga's kind of holding up Spilly and Toddy. Obviously he's fighting for a podium, so he's doing well enough as it is. Well, we've just had a spin James Cruz as well in the first sector. But yeah, so up to 2.8 seconds. This could be an interesting race here. We're going to have a new winner, I reckon. I don't think Pure Gold or Kickbutt have had a win so far this series. So
yeah, they haven't, but it looks like now Spilly is going to go to the outside line on Big Donga, heading into turn 8. Who's going to be deep right of break? Donga pushes him out wide and holds onto that position. Really good defending there from Donga. But will he have a good run heading out of that chicane now? It doesn't look like it, so Donga's going to try and defend his position here. He's going to go to the inside line, which is smart of him to do because you cannot really hold it around the outside here properly. As you just saw there, Spilly's now had to back out of it. There's another yellow flag. I think that may be Iceman. It is Iceman, so unfortunately for himself, he's dropped a lot of positions, but we'll go back here to this battle for the 3rd spot on the podium. Obviously, this is not what Spilly, Toddy, and Breno needs if they want to potentially win this race, because they're just letting these front 2 get away. So, Kickbutt Kiwi and Kickbutt Kiwi and Pure Gold are actually really close to each other now, so we could potentially see a move from Harrison or Pure Gold heading into turn 1. He actually didn't get a really good run there, so Kickbutt Kiwi is going to hold on to it again, but we'll go back to this battle because obviously Spilly is a really aggressive driver, so we could see him potentially just throw a move at the Campos in front of him out of nowhere. Donga defends the inside line again, but Spilly to the outside line now as they run alongside each other heading into turn 1. Donga does not want to give up this position, but I think he's going to have to yield here to Spilly. He's going to try and get the under and over. He needs to slot back into that slipstream so he can get back down the inside. Spilly trying to defend it. Donga to the inside line now. They run side by side. Donga does not want to give up this position heading into turn 3. I think what he needs to do here is wait for that slipstream. Does Toddy send it on him? He does, down the inside on Big Donga. He's not able to do it this time around. And I think what Campos needs to do here...
Ooh.
He got a really bad run there, so he needs to completely throw Spilly out the window here and now to worry about Toddy. He's trying to come across on him here is the Campos driver. Well. And there is. We'll go back to this lead battle. As you can see, Pure Gold down the inside. Oh, around the outside, sorry, of Kickbutt Kiwi. And Kickbutt Kiwi is forced there to go onto the curb. But we'll go back to this battle. It looks like now there's a battle between Breno and Todster side by side heading through turn 9 and 10. Who's going to be able to get the better run here? It looks like Toddy will, so up. Oh, he's going to hold on to P5. And look at these drivers squirming all over the track. Wafer trying to make or get a move done on Breno there. And they're ready to run side by side now. Heading through that right-hander. And they're going to go, or Breno's going to hold up into position 6. And there's a wing going flying off the track there. I think that was Jay Schmidt, to be honest. So I think his wing's gone again in this race. Klevs is trying to catch up, but I think he might actually have a bit of damage to his car as well. We'll have a quick look. Nah, he looks fine. So let's see what happened to Schmidt, because I definitely think that was his wing. that went flying off. Yeah, it was his wing. His left end plate is unfortunately, or has unfortunately, disattached. I don't think that's a word, but from his car. But yeah, we'll continue on.
Yeah, I think Plebs, unfortunately, Plebs is struggling with these tyres, obviously, after that spin. I wouldn't be too surprised if you did see him try that pit stop again and go onto the softs here at some point. We haven't seen a safety car again, but this is a track where you don't really get too many of them because it's just spins. It's not really, you know,
there's no walls,
contact with walls or anything. So
very easy to save the car.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anyone tries to go for it. I think those softs are going to be a lot quicker than the hards, obviously, especially at the end of the race. But this is going to be interesting here. Big Donga's got a nice run on Toddster.
So will the Campos driver try and make a move here? Toddy defends the inside line, but Donga goes to the racing line. Will he be able to hold on to it? He defends the inside line now, so Toddy's pushed back down into P5. So the Campos driver's doing a really good job at the moment. He's holding on to P4. He doesn't seem to have the pace of these around him, but the person that is actually helping with him battling is his teammate, BK. He's actually catching up now. He's into the points. And look at that, Breno and Gaming Wafer banging wheels heading down the straight. Who's going to be able to get it done? It looks like Wafer will have the inside line, but let's go back to this other battle because Donga and, what's his name? Toddy were going side by side as well, but Donga managed to hold on to that. Gaming Wafer's got himself up into P6 ahead of Breno as well. So Wafer's looking really good here at the opening laps of this Grand Prix. 6 laps remaining in this race as well. Pure Gold is trying to edge a gap now to Kickbutt Kiwi. There's 0.6 of a second between them. Spilly's in P3 at the moment. He's trying to catch up to these two in front. He's running pretty lonely race at the moment. Toddy MP5, sorry, Donga MP4, P5 is Toddy. Wafer MP6, P7 is Breno, BK, Jay Schmidt, and Plebs rounds out your top 10. Crossy, Toes Rudy, Dr. Dre, Tao, Roscoe Arm, Gold Gloves, Bod Hod, Lunacy, James, Cruz, and Iceman down in position 20 rounds out your grid on lap 6. So 5 laps remaining in the race for the Race Spec F1 Esports PS4 Formula 2 Pacific Series Sprint Race.
Yeah, as we've seen the last few weeks, the king of the sprint race is definitely Gaming Wafer. He's up 7 spots from 13th in this one, but still pushing and could be on for at least P4 here. If he can make his way through on this Toddster Big Donga kind of scuffle here, which is, Toddster's just lost the rear a little bit there, so it's not going to be a good entry onto the straight here. Wafer is going to probably make a move, I reckon.
Wafer is in the slipstream of Toddy here. But, Toddy does come across him. So these two have a little bit of history between each other. They have been known for making contact a little bit between each of them. So Gaming Wafer trying to get the better run, but just put the gas pedal down a little bit too quick there. And unfortunately, had a lot of wheel spin there on exit, so that really hurt him. And I think Breno's going to try and make a move here. Actually, no, he's a little bit too far back, rather. BK's now lost out a lot of time, so he needs himself, his teammate, and Toddy to keep battling for him to catch back up. But Pure Gold and Kickbutt Kiwi is still running away with his Spilly MP3 at the moment. He's not really catching these two in front, by the way. So
yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. I was going to say, really good props to these two at the front. They're not hurting each other. They're both racing close together. They're still DRS, so they're going to save that battle for those last couple of laps. But Spilly just can't catch up. I thought he was going to definitely catch these two at least a little bit, but it's stayed the exact same gap since he got through on Donga.
Yes, as you see there, Gaming Wafer had locked up the inside front there. He kind of followed Toddy because Toddy did the exact same thing as him. So we'll have to see what happens. This prediction here for
move for the lead.
Move for the lead?
Oh no, it didn't end up happening. He pulled out of it. It's going to be a late move, and he didn't do it. But he's lost a little bit of time there.
Alright, so Pure Gold leads the way. Sorry, Kickbutt Kiwi in position 2. Spilly still trying to catch up. It's 2.4 now, so he's pulling it ever so slightly, but there's, oh, look at that, down the inside goes Wafer. It wasn't really alongside there, so that's not going to be, well, Toddy's not going to be too happy about that, but he will have a nice run here on Big Donga heading onto the straight. So if you don't mind as well, if you want to update us real quick on what the top 5 have with penalties, but it looks like Donga is going to be very vulnerable here. He's going to go to the outside line now, is Toddy, and he's going to get the move done pretty easily up into position 4. But I think what Big Donga needs to do here is just sit in his slipstream, potentially even try and catch up the Spilly, because Toddy is obviously a lot faster. Gaming Wafer is now right behind the Campos driver, so let's see what Big Donga can do. Will he be able to make a move this time around? He's in the slipstream. He's not going to be close enough to make a move here on the car in front of him. So there is now a...
Spilly's had a moment or something because he just lost 1.2 seconds on this lap. He had closed it in as we saw there, but it's back out to 3.5, the gap between him and Kickbutt.
So Crossy now, and Schmidt made a move, sorry. Crossy now up into position 10, and Schmidt now being pushed back down out of the top 10, but we also need to remember the top 8 get points here. So BK will be taking home 1 point here at this stage. And now his teammate's been pushed back down to P5, but he's actually keeping it with Toddy at the moment. I'm surprised that he's keeping with him here, to be honest. I didn't expect to be saying Big Dom would be in position 5 for this afternoon, but we'll see how he goes later in this race. There are still a couple of laps to go, so let's see how this plays out.
It's different to what we've seen. We've seen those, like, you know, like 8 spots, 7 spots, 6 spots, 5th spot on the grid all come through pretty easily. Like they're up there, but Kickbutt is doing well from that pole position.
Spilly's made a massive error there. He's run really wide now. This has brought Toddy right back into it, so Spilly's really hurt himself here. So did you have a little update there real quick as well, what the go was with warnings?
Yeah, with the warnings.
Yep.
Pure Gold's got 1, Kickbutt has got 2, Spilly has got 1, Tots has got none, Big Donga has 2, and Wafer also has 2.
So now to the outside line goes Toddy, and he's going to get the move done. So now to Vitersi, 2-3 here, and look at that, down the inside I think of Gaming Wafer. Wasn't able to get the job done, don't cut him off there. Wasn't really close enough, but will Spilly try and fight back here on Toddy. He's going to have a nice run here on the Virtuosi in front of him. Toddy defends the inside line, he baits it, but I don't think he's going to be able to get the move done. He doesn't have the momentum now after doing that little thing there with his steering, but the front two are now really pulling away. 4.6 seconds between all of these drivers. So BK now has Plevs behind him, so Plevs is going to be wanting to potentially just get a point here this afternoon, so he can actually get some sort of reward from this race, obviously after having that little collision, I believe, with Schmidt. So yeah, it's unfortunate for Plevs. He looked like he was going to be on for a potential good result here again this afternoon, but yeah, his weekend started really good, but unfortunately just hasn't had the best of sprint races here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because from what I can tell at the moment, the race weekend victory is probably going to go Toddy's way. Spilly in second, and then I think Pure Gold, if he wins this one, he will probably jump Plevs for 3rd for the weekend. So Plevs is going to want to try and scrape a point here if he can, because that can help him keep that 3rd for the weekend. But he's 2.1, 2.3. It's kind of just chopping and changing there with BK. He's going to need something to happen between BK, Breno, and like Gaming Wafer and stuff for him to have a chance.
You can see Gaming Wafer is trying to set up a move here on Donga. Obviously Spilly and Toddy have now pulled away, so I don't think Toddy's going to be able to catch up to these front two, but will we see a move here from Kickbutt? He's going to have a really nice run here on Harrison, or Pure Gold, sorry. He's not going to be close enough this time around, so we'll go back to this battle here from Wafer. Will he go down the inside? He is going to go to the inside line now on Big Donga, heading down the inside at turn 8. Donga's trying to hold it there. They do make wheel-to-wheel contact, and the Campos driver holds on. He's got a lot of oversteer there, and it looks like Wafer's going to stick it down the inside, and Donga's turned in on him there. And they're going to be 3-1. They're still banging wheels there, and Breno has the inside line here. This is going to be really beneficial here to Breno. He's going to go down the inside. Does Donga hold it there? He does. So now, Gaming Wafer trying to stick his nose down the inside on Breno. Breno runs really deep into the corner though. Will he be able to hold it there or keep the momentum up? Wafer doesn't leave him much room, so it's tit for tat at the moment. It's very borderline between the amount of room that everyone's leaving, but obviously the Campos driver does not want to give up this position. He wants to get 5 or hold on to the top 5 here, but obviously with him battling, that's allowed his teammate to catch right up to this battle pack now of BK. So Crossy and Plevs are also battling it out at the moment. I really don't think they should be, because they need to try and catch up to this battle pack in front, but I think that will help with these guys battling. So we'll see how that goes as they now start the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix do the race leaders. There's 2 tenths at the moment between them. We haven't watched too much of this, so let's have a look here. I think Pure Gold is going to be a little bit vulnerable here.
Yeah, so it's obviously I've been watching this one for a little while now. I think Kickbutt's kind of just biding his time here, but both of them are just kind of holding on to see what they can do in terms of late race kind of maneuvers because I don't think they wanted anyone to catch him, which they've done well at. There's still a 3.7 gap back to Toddy at this point, and he's clearly the fastest driver on the circuit.
Test 1 2. Can you hear me? Sorry, my mic just came out.
I can.
Sorry
yeah,
about that.
That's why I started talking. Thought so.
Yeah, so kick back here.
He's gone around the outside.
He's going to go around the outside, heading into turn 9.
Very
and we have
nice
a
move.
lead change here for the sprint race here. Pure Gold now pushed back down to P2. Big Donga penalty. So unfortunately for himself, he's now dropped off massively. Wafer, I wouldn't be surprised if these two made contact, to be honest. They have been racing very hard. Does Donga go to the inside line? There is technically a little space there, but he's going to go to the outside line now, which is not the smart thing to do through this right hand. They made contact. Nearly done a... you see Wafer there. It's very borderline at the moment between what these two are doing. He's sending it, this Big Donga. He's correcting. He's correcting here, his Donga, so he's might send it back here on Wafer. These two are really not having a good time. I thought Donga's going to hit him there, but anyway, we'll continue on. Breno's now in position 7 and BK in P8, so Toddy and Spilly are actually battling it here as well for position 3, so it's a battle pretty much everywhere you look.
There's a lot of battles, yeah.
But we're going to stick on board with this one for the lead of the Grand Prix. Sorry for talking over you there. So Kickback Huey defending the inside line on Pure Gold. He's going to try. I think the smart thing for Pure Gold here is to wait for DRS. That's probably a smart thing here from the Dams driver. He just needs to make sure he stays within 2/10 of the car in front of him so he can easily overtake him heading down the back straight. Needs to make sure he gets a good run through this section of corners. BK 3-second penalties. So both the cam bosses now have penalties, which is going to drop them massively.
That's big for Crossy.
That is big for Crossy. So Crossy's going to move himself up into position 8 now. And look, Big Donga and Wafer are swapping positions, but we're going to keep on board with this battle for the lead of the Grand Prix. Okay. Yep. We'll move on from that.
Sure, there'll be an incident report about that one.
Yep. As you
Here
can
we
see,
go.
now,
Is he going to have it up?
There you go. I'll let you take this one.
To the outside. Kickbutt holds the position there. It's going to be interesting to see if he can get a good run out of this corner, Pure Gold. It's pretty dead even, I feel, but he might get a bit of toe down this straight here. I think Kickbutt's going to hold on to this one for a bit. We'll see if Pure Gold can make a move coming into the long right-hander, I reckon.
I think Wafer's gone as well. But we'll continue. We'll keep on this battle.
Wafer.
BK and Wafer. Around the outside now is Pure Gold. Will he be able to hold it there? This could be a really good move if he can pull it off. Kickbutt defending the inside line, but he didn't do it good enough. Now down the inside goes Pure Gold, heading into the final sector, and he's going to get the move done, I think. They've given each other room. They're still side by side as they head up to the penultimate corner on the final lap of the Grand Prix. Kickbutt here, he's still there. Will he be able to do it? He's not going to be close enough. Oh, he sent it down the inside. This is going to be a drag race. Heading up to the line. Who's going to be fast enough? It looks like Pure Gold is going to get the win here. 5/100ths of a second in the end there between Pure Gold and Kickback Huey. Good rate, or massively. Congratulations to Pure Gold there. Kickback Huey will come home P2. P3 will be Toddster in the end. So Vitersi have to keep their heads high here. They did a really good job there. That will definitely close their gap here to Jay Schmidt and Crossy as they had a really poor round here.
I think they might jump them at this point. They didn't have a good first race either, Crossy and Schmidt. Crossy finished in, I think it was P5, and Schmidt only finished in 11th in that first race as well. So, and both the Virtuosos were in the points in that first race. So it'll be interesting to see here whether they do make the jump. There is a lot of points up for grabs in this one. So yeah, but very good racing at the front there. I'm glad that they kept it tight, but also, you know, obviously leaving enough room for each other there. And
the front two.
We got to see something interesting. Yeah, that's it, exactly. But they drove a really good race, driving away from everyone, and they kept them enough time. Like Toddy pulled it into 1.5 with the battling there at the end, but just nowhere near those two at this point.
Yeah, so Pure Gold wins the race. Yeah, as you can see, I'll just go through your results here so we can just go to the weekend results. Pure Gold wins the race ahead of Kickback Huey. Toddy rounds out your podium. Then Spilly, Breno, Crossy, Jay Schmidt in position 7. P8 will be Plev, so he will take home a singular point. Toes Rudy, P9 and Brandy at your top 10 will be the Gaming Wafer. Then it'll be Tao, Dr. Dre, Roscoe Arm, Donga, his teammate BK, Bodhod, Gloves, Lunacy, and Iceman comes across the line now to finish position 19. I'm not too sure who retired from the race. I'll confirm that for you in a minute.
Yeah, we've got some biffs already going on here in the chat.
Oh god.
So, it's all going to the stewards. We'll see how they see it. And obviously we'll be able to tell you next week if anything does change.
Yeah, so as you can see here, congratulations to our podium and both the Virtuosi drivers and the Dams team for winning the race. So let's quickly move on to your weekend results here this afternoon, so you can see the overall round results here for the French Grand Prix. I had to do this a couple of times so it doesn't work. So as you can see, Toddy wins the overall weekend. He told me he was going to win. I didn't believe him, I'll be honest, but he does actually end up winning. The Virtuosi driver takes home P1 by a pretty good margin as well, 39 points, and Pure Gold in P2 for Dams. P3 will be the tried driver Spilly. So Pure Gold did a really good job there. He obviously won the last race, but to come from where he was, he definitely didn't finish in the top 5, I believe, from the first race. So Spilly will be in P3, P4 will be Plebs, P5 Kick by Kiwi, Crossy P6, then Breno, Donga, Wafer, and BK rounds out your top 10. Schmidt in P11 taking home 2 points, and the last of the people that will take home points here this afternoon will be Stone Towel in P12. Then it'll be Rudy, Dr. Dre, VSR, Roscoe, Bodhod, Gold Gloves, Lunacy, Iceman, and James Cruz rounds out your 20.
Very, very nice stuff there. Unfortunately, tonight we won't have post-race interviews. We've got places to be, people to see, but we'll try and catch Toddy, Pure Gold, and Spilly maybe before next race or at some point next race. Just to bring us up to scratch on how this one went, because there were some nice battles there. So it'll be interesting to see what they say.
It will be interesting. But thank you guys for joining as well, the stream. Thank you, Curving, for joining me in the commentary box yet again for some epic racing here this afternoon at Le Castellet for the French Grand Prix.
Yeah, no problem at all, mate. Happy to be here as always, and some really nice racing to watch tonight.
It definitely was. So stay tuned next week as well, next Friday night, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for next round of the Race Spec F1 Esports PS4 Formula 2 Pacific Series. Thank you guys for joining. My name is Exprit, and I will see you guys next time.